It has been unbearably hot, which can only mean one thing. The NFL season is approaching. Being a guy that primarily deals in football cards, the offseason is a really interesting time. From March to September, we're really only diving into the hype that stems from the draft, combine, and free agency moves. So, needless to say, it can be slow. If you've been following the channel for a little bit, then you know that I've been documenting this journey and showing how I'm navigating this almost step for step, all while committing the ultimate sports card sin, which I'll dive into more later in this video. So today, we're looking at whether things have paid off, or have I just been wasting a bunch of time? About 6 months ago, when I really started taking this channel seriously, I stayed up all night comping on my sports cards and finding out what my collection, what my inventory is worth. Today, I want to harken back to that video and see exactly how much we've grown. So I locked myself in my office. I comped almost every single sports card I own. This is just a fraction of it. It's grown to be a pretty significant amount, and tallied it out. I'm going deep into the spreadsheets to see exactly how much I've gained in the last 6 months. I mentioned that I've been doing the biggest sports card sin, which is buying sports cards to flip off eBay. I hear it all the time. Oh, well, you don't want to leave a comp. And for the most part, I'd agree. But in the off season, things operate a little bit differently, especially when you have the opportunity to get really limited cards that are hard to get your hands on, like the select CJ Stroud rookie patch out of 35. When people's eyes are on other sports like the NBA Finals, for example, great cards will sell at auction for less than what we all agree that they should go for. At that point, it's kind of a simple supply and demand. The supply stays the same throughout the year, but the demand is shifted towards other sports. So I try to capitalize on that. But yes, it does leave a comp on eBay. So I bought this CJ Stroud somewhere in the ballpark of $45. I was confident that it's going to be worth more than that. And I just saw that another one sold north of $200. I'll pull up the exact comp. I just wanted to leave that little tidbit. I float around a lot that you shouldn't leave your comps on eBay. Don't buy sports cards on eBay, especially if you're intending to flip them, right? Well, I think there's a time and place, and I think I've leveraged that pretty well this offseason. It works at the end of the day. So I thought it'd be cool to go through the coolest cards that I currently own, a lot of which I purchased directly off eBay. So let's get into it. All right, I've got 13 of my favorite cards that I've purchased or held through the off season. This is kind of the higher end stuff in my collection, so I'm excited to take you guys through it. Should be kind of fun just to document where my collection's at, where my inventory's at, what I consider a high-end card, because over the course of the last couple of years, I've noticed big shifts in, oh my gosh, I have a $100 card, I don't know what to do with this, to now, oh my gosh, I have $250 cards, I don't know what to do with this. And hopefully next year it's 500 or above. And we just continue to double up. So to start off, we got the CJ Stroud Select rookie patch I showed off earlier. This is out of 35. I think the pendulum swung a little bit too far on CJ. I'm excited to see how he does this year. I'm a big believer. Seems like a good guy. So it's fun just to collect his stuff and pick it up whenever I can at a good price. We got my guy Patrick Mahomes. This is the first rookie silver prism that I purchased. Yeah, I'm actually into this card for right around $70. It's part of a trade, part cash. Just the story of how I got into this card, the quality of the card, it's super clean. I don't know that it would 10, but it's a great card from a great set. Can't go wrong. Patrick Mahomes rookie prism. Next, we got the Malik Neighbors 8.5. Yeah, it's Beckett. I think that's the reason I was able to get my hands on it for a good price. This exact card sold multiple times. I picked it up off eBay. I actually don't see the problem with the corners or the surface. It's almost like there's things inside the sleeve. So I wonder if I busted it out and sent it to PSA if I could get a 9. I think that significantly increased the value here. But I really like Malik. I liked him at LSU with Jaden Daniels. The navy camo color match out of 25. Super collectible set like Prism. Really cool. Really happy to have gotten my hands on this card. JSN on the Bronze Mojo. This is an optic out of 35. Little off center. Great prospect. I mean, I really believe in him. I think he'll take a step forward this year if he has decent quarterback play. But especially from like a fantasy football relevance standpoint, I think a lot more people are going to be looking at JSN this year. We got Puka. You might recognize this card from one of my PSA videos. I actually still have not sent this out because I've been waiting to get my hands on more cards, but I probably could have had this card back by now if I had just sent it out. I think it's going to get a gem. I think it's PSA 10 just sold for a good amount. I was happy to see the sale. because this card's gone up since I purchased it. Cooper Kupp's gone. We'll see how he interacts with Devontae Adams. I think he's going to be wide receiver 1 in LA. Next, CJ Stroud on the no-name short print from Don Russ. I'm really the only comp. This is a card I picked up on eBay. Super well centered, pretty clean. Haven't really looked it over whether it'd be worth getting. Probably not going to gem just based off that, but really attractive card, especially on the front end. But I don't see these sell very often, but I think once that hype starts to turn around, this is definitely one collectors are going to be interested in. JJ McCarthy on the splash out of 16. Picked this up when I traveled to Wichita for a card show. Saw a few surprising comps on it. Absolute cards are kind of weird. They're kind of finicky. Some people really like them. Sometimes these really low numbered absolute cards go for less than you think, but it's kind of got a cool color match with the purple, the splash, and the purple jersey from McCarthy. I won't say that I'm super high on McCarthy, but I'm definitely not a doubter. It's really interesting that we have the opportunity to get these short printed cards in his NFL jersey, essentially for his rookie year. So there's going to be market hype for sure, but we'll see what he does with it. Then we got not one but two, CJ Stroud, National Convention, purple out of 25. Rookies, overpaid for one and really underpaid for another at auction. And there's 25 of them and I have two. Pretty cool. All right, Patrick Mahomes on the rookie threads from Don Russ. The cool thing about 2017, this is player worn. This is one of the first rookie cards that I ever picked up of Patrick. Probably one I'm going to be hanging on to for a long time. CJ Stroud on the pedigree. This was actually one of my first, if not, might have been my first video. Before I was consistent, opened this up from an Origins International box. Got the case hit, the pedigree, and it was the best player that I could have opened, CJ Stroud. Probably my best pull to date. Next, we got JJ on the futuristic black. This isn't the craziest card. I don't know that I love the aesthetic of it. Panini Black has a lot cooler looking cards. So I like the set, maybe not this futuristic, but we got the 3-color patch and it's out of 10. So kind of what I talked about with JJ earlier, but limited to 10, 3-color patch. Should be pretty easy to move. Next, you can kind of see who I'm high on. Now we got the Puka Nacua on the Orange Wave Prism. Very clean card. Could definitely find its way into a PSA submission. Worst case scenario, gets a 9. With cards like this, even just ensuring that it's a 9 will cause the value to go up. Love the prisms. Finally, card I got at auction right when he was getting in trouble, so it went very low. Gold auto out of 25. We'll see what happens this year. I've got high hopes. So these are just some of my favorite pickups, some of my favorite holds over the course of the year. If you've stuck around, you probably recognize most of these. It's been a great offseason. Just a lot of cards that I'm happy to have my hands on. Pretty hard to find out in the wild, and scooped them up when I had the chance. So now that we went through all those cool cards, things that I'm stoked to have and things that I wouldn't have dreamed I'd be buying and selling this quickly into the game. I was referring back to my previous video in January when I first started diving into YouTube, and I was adding up what my collection was worth, and it's right around $10,000. And I was ecstatic because I'd taken about $500 from my paycheck, scaled that, flipped it, taken base hits over and over and over, and scaled that to $10,000 in value. Now that was prime season, a lot of playoff hype, so about 2 months after that video, a lot of the cards actually lost 10 to 20% of their value just because it was out of season. Like I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a simple supply and demand. Less eyeballs were looking at football cards on eBay, right? Calculating out what my current collection is worth, the grand total came out to be just under $13,000. So over the last 6 months, we have profited about $3,000 of sports cards. And that's just my inventory, which, to be honest, was a little discouraging when I first found that number, primarily because I've put in so much effort into building the sports card business, Cards and Canvas. As I was watching that old video, I was noticing things that have improved, like the quality of these videos, the quality of how I talk to the camera, and something stuck out that I was extremely grateful. I had just passed 500 subscribers, and over the course of that time, we're really close to hitting 2,500. Through flipping sports cards part-time, I've gained $3,000 in value for my inventory and 5x'd my audience, which is you guys. So we've hit some really amazing milestones. And money aside, current value aside, I really take this as a win, because I think as we approach the preseason, we really get into it, prices are going to go up 10, 20%. And that $3,000 is going to be closer to $4,000. Can't be for sure, but I feel confident with that estimate. I think it just depends on the things that I'm looking at and prioritizing. And lately I've been prioritizing the growth and the exposure of Cards and Canvas wider, casting a wider net, which has meant that I spend less time focusing on cards. And for the amount of time that I've invested, I'm really happy with the results. And honestly, one of the things that's helped me the most is the comments that you guys leave, just giving me feedback on if you think things are good purchases or if you think that I overpaid, and just your thought process behind it so I can compare it to mine. I think that's been the most rewarding aspect of creating this channel, sharing the journey with you. So I'm excited to get back to these kind of videos. I really dove into kind of YouTube-y, clicky things, but I want to consistently upload these update videos because it seems like you guys enjoy them, and I enjoy making them a lot more. I've been fighting a little bit of burnout just managing all the things, all the hats that I wear, which is, between sports cards, between the YouTube and content and doing the art. I work full-time, I'm a husband, stuff like that. It does get to be a lot sometimes, especially with the time management piece, but it seems like we're getting better at it. Things are continuing to grow, and there's just a lot of encouraging momentum right now. So I'm really excited to be documenting this process. I'm really excited to continue scaling. We'll see how the numbers work as we get closer to the season. Hopefully more cool opportunities, do some incredible paintings for incredible clients continues to pop up. If you liked this video and you want to see how I'm taking my foot off the gas to free up more time to focus on things like content and art and how to sell sports cards with little to no effort, I think you'll like this video as well. So you should click on that. Besides that, I think that's about it. See ya.